Hey everybody, welcome to the Blue Collar Beer Gentleman. I'm Topher and I started this channel because I'm a fan of craft beer, but I'm also on a limited budget, and I wanted to demonstrate it was possible to enjoy good quality beers without having to break the bank. I'm always looking for the best deal on beers, and I think the gang at Belmont Station, located at 4500 Southeast Stark here in Portland, Oregon, may have hooked me up with a pretty good one. For $1.99, they hooked me up with this Culmination Brewing Bohemian Pilsner. This is from Culmination Brewing. I've not had anything from Culmination Brewing, despite the fact that they are only 18 miles from where I'm sitting right now. This beer, as I said, is a Bohemian-style Pilsner. That's where the original Pilsners came from, the Czech Pilsners. I don't know whether the Czech Republic is in the region of Bohemia, or Bohemia is a part of the Czech Republic, or I'm not sure how exactly that works, but Czech Republic, Bohemia, that's where the style originated. Although, as my most recent research suggests to me, that it started there with hops that were given to a Czech monk by a German farmer. So who knows? But I do know that when the Germans decided to make their own variation of this beer, out of respect, they called it the Pils, because the conditions were not quite the same as the Czech. Now, Czech Pilsners, true Bohemian Pilsners, oftentimes have sort of a sulfur aroma to them because of the water that they use. So if the sulfur aroma appears, that doesn't, and you get that. If it does appear, I'm not going to discount. In fact, I would be very pleased to see that. Now let's see. This beer comes in at 5.6 ABV. I had to go to the 2008 version of BJCP, Beer Judging Certification Program, in order to discover that a Bohemian Pilsner should come in between 4.2 and 5.4 on the ABV scale. So at 5.6, this is actually a little over. None of my friends on Untappd have checked in on this beer, and only 696 of us have checked in on Untappd total, with a cumulative score of 3.67. Beer Advocate has had Beer Advocate has had there it is, 5 rankings. With an average score of 4.0. When you have that few rankings and you have less than 10, Beer Advocate does not get an overall score. So the average score is 4.0. So fairly high marks. Another thing I want to point out about this beer is that it does have the independent craft label here. And Nancy will put up that logo on the side, I'm sure. When you see that, you know that you're drinking a true craft beer and not somebody posing as a craft brewer. And as I said, one more thing I do want to add about the Czech style. Czech style Pilsner should always have Saaz hops, and the variety first began in 1842. It was the year that, as I've said, I've read recently that it was started by a Czech monk who was given hops, I believe it was, or it may have been yeast, by a German farmer. So there you have it. Okay. And this is just 1 week shy of being 3 months old. Another thing I love about this, and I want to point this out too, is that they not only have the canned on date, but they've got the batch number on the bottom. That's awesome. Nice work, guys. You got to respect a brewer who makes sure you are knowing which batch of their beer you are drinking. That's very cool. So they've already got high marks in respect to that. Okay, a Pilsner should have lots and lots and lots of carbonation. This is, honestly, I got to describe this as medium-low carbonation. There's bubbles here, there's traffic, but there's not nearly as much as I was expecting. Now, Pilsners oftentimes have very flimsy heads. At 4.6, was that right? Was that 4.6? 5.6. Yeah, that's actually kind of high for a Pilsner. That's almost into Imperial Pilsner category. And Imperial Pilsner category is a category I just think it's beyond me. Pilsners were made to be light beers, and they were supposed to be drank despite, they were supposed to be drank in converse to some of the heavier beers. So to have a high ABV Pilsner to me just makes no sense at all. But this is pouring about the right color. This is a very, very pale yellow, and that's what a Pilsner should be. As I said, that head is rather flimsy, and there's no lacing, despite the 5.6. That is really kind of high for a Pilsner, quite frankly. I'm going to go ahead and give this a beard wipe, see what I encounter. Well, I'm not smelling the sulfur. Let me see what else I can pick up when I put my schnoz in. I'm smelling that Pilsner, Pilsner lager yeast, that's for sure. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start some drinking and quit yapping my flap. Cheers. I will describe that as I'm going to describe it as a medium-high mouthfeel. There's kind of a spikiness to that. There's no alcohol burn at a 5.6. It could go either way, frankly. Sort of bready. I'm not getting quite as much yeast as I would expect from a Pilsner. There's a certain yeastiness that I really enjoy in a Pilsner, and I'm not getting that. This is more like a pale ale became a Pilsner, or it's like a pale ale was brewed with lager. You know, was a lagered pale ale is almost what this tastes like to me. I don't know. I'm not going to let this count against me against this brewer. I think this brewer I want to check them out, other beers, but I'm not crazy about this beer. I think the beer itself only really deserves a 3.25. It's going to get that extra 0.25 for arriving in a can, and I do love you for putting the batch number on the bottom of the can, but I'm just not crazy about this Pilsner, guys. This isn't, especially when you call it a Czech Pilsner. That's not really, or a Bohemian-style Pilsner. It's not keeping it with Bohemian standards, I don't think. But, as I said, 3.25 for the beer, 3.5 overall on a 5-point scale, and Untapped is what it'll be getting from me. Well, guys, if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out my other channel, Fat 50 and Running at Marathon. And until next time, drink good beer and don't break the bank doing it. Cheers!